Hey guys, hello once again. Well, this should be very interesting. This is the first time we will have seen Richard Allen in the courtroom itself. Indiana has only very recently allowed cameras in the courtrooms at all. So this is a new one. And it's the first time that the judge in the Delphi case has allowed cameras in. Now, it's my understanding that this won't be live streamed, that there's a delay, that this is one of them. They do that with Coburgers. They do that with most, actually, that the camera records and then it's after the hearing, or there's a delay. So some wait till the hearing's entirely finished and then they release the camera feed to the media. Or sometimes there's a delay, so like half an hour or something like that. So I'm not sure. We're playing it by ear. I've got Law and Crime Network up in the background, and they've changed their schedule actually. They were going to go live at 7 my time. This is my local time. But they've changed it to 7:30. So it was my understanding that the hearing itself started at 2:30 Eastern. That was my understanding. But it could be 2 Eastern. But we'll play it by ear. But it's interesting that Law and Crime Network have changed their go live time. So maybe that's the time when the hearing starts, or maybe that's the time when the court feed is going to be released, if that makes sense. Anyway, we can have a chat beforehand, and I've got some things to show you also. And I just want to save some slides to... I should have done this before. Hold on. I just want to save some slides to StreamYard so we can talk about these crime scene photos that we think is going to be the issue. This is an emergency hearing that Judge Francis Gull has called. Let me just upload this file. It'll upload in the background. It won't take it a second. This is an emergency hearing that Judge Francis Gull has called, telling all parties that you've got to be there in her courtroom. She normally travels to Carroll County, but no, she wants them in her courtroom. She wants them on her patch, and I think they're going to get a jolly good ticking off, if nothing else. I think she's a very, very angry judge. That's just my opinion. We'll wait and see what actually happens. But the media's going with that this hearing is about the crime scene photos. And honestly, I think they're right. I'd be utterly shocked if this hearing was about anything else other than the leaked crime scene photos. Now, is it possible that the defense is going to be dismissed? Anything's possible. I'd be surprised if she did completely dismiss the entire defense team. This supposed leak, now this is according to the Murder Sheet podcast, and I did a video about this the other day. So it's whether you choose to believe the Murder Sheet podcast or not. But according to the Murder Sheet podcast, their conversations with Jerry Holman, who is the detective named a lot in the defense's memorandum, but he's the person who's been investigating these alleged leaks. So make of that what you will. But apparently this leak came from an ex-employee from the defence team. So not a current employee, a past employee. So in my opinion, it's Andrew Baldwin's firm that this person used to work for. In my opinion, how can you dismiss an attorney for something that one of your past employees did? I think that's unfair. I mean, they're a past employee, maybe with a grudge, maybe with an axe to grind. We've no idea. We can speculate all day and all night on things like that. So I honestly would be surprised if the defence team gets completely dismissed. That would obviously set the case right back to the start, because a new team would have to come in, a completely new team would have to come in and start the case essentially again. They'd have to learn the case. I honestly can't see that happening. Now, with the leaks, obviously has come a lot of speculation, and several people, including the murder sheet, but several YouTubers have been sent these crime scene photos above and beyond the F. And there's also some pictures of Libby's shoe in the water, the tie-dye shirt that Libby was wearing in the water. I think there's also a pair of underwear, or it may be a sock or something small anyway, that's in the water. But the photos of the girls' bodies, I think there may have only been one, perhaps, of the girls' bodies. Nobody, to my knowledge, has released that to the public. Like the YouTubers and the podcasters that have been sent them, to my knowledge, have been very sensitive about that information and have not leaked that. So in terms of damage to the case, you could argue that what has been leaked hasn't damaged the case at all. Like this supposed F on the tree, the pictures of the shoes and the clothes in the creek, even the girls' bodies. Even if the girls' body picture had made it into the public domain, would that really have damaged the case? No, not really. Because it's a picture, it's a photo of something that happened. Is it immoral? Yes. Is the person that leaked it out of order? Absolutely yes. Does that person deserve to get charges against them? Possibly yes. I don't know what for, but it's bad. It's really bad. But from my opinion, if I was the judge, I couldn't in any way, shape or form consider dismissing an entire team because of this. I'd be angry, and I'd want to fully investigate, and I'd want to make sure that nothing like this is going to happen again. Because obviously, if there is a leak somewhere in the team, you know, this is a past employee, so you might say, well, okay, what does that past employee have? What would they have had access to? Would they have access to everything? Stuff that would potentially damage the case. And if that's the case, then they'd have to make darn sure that that person isn't going to leak anything else. And also, they're going to have to make darn sure that there's nobody else connected to the defence that is thinking along the same lines. So, no, we don't know, Linda. Did the defence leak the pictures for sure? No, we don't know. This is according to the Murder Sheet podcast. So this is just what they have found out. But no, we don't know for sure. We don't know that let's go into speculation time for a minute. What if it's come from law enforcement? What if Jerry Holman, who's been investigating this alleged leak, is hiding what the real leaker is and who that is? Given the 136-page memorandum and the defence taking the world by storm and creating some reasonable doubt in this case, in my opinion, to me, it seems more like a law enforcement thing. But we don't know. We don't know. This is all according to the Murder Sheet podcast. Will we find out more today? Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully we will. Hopefully we won't be speculating. And hopefully this hearing won't create more questions than answers. That would be terrible if that happened. But, yeah. So those who don't know what on earth I'm talking about, let's... Oh, I've got to flick through them all. Don't know how to do this. Don't know what on earth I'm talking about. This is the F. Now, I've increased the contrast on that picture. This is the actual picture. That's the actual picture that was released. So that's the F that was talked about in the defence memorandum. What if it was the killer? What, the killer that released the photos? What, the killer took photos at the scene and then released them? I think that would be an incredibly silly thing to do if they did, because it's not going to be difficult to find. Yes, Kyle.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, Kyle.
But as your only live spectator, I'm just listening, and I'm just like to know briefly what the case you're doing.
Delphi.
Is it, what happened? Just brief 30-second description.
Kyle's come in and asked me to give a 30-second description on the Delphi case. Right. 2017. Right. Two girls, 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German, were murdered. Last year, October last year. What are you laughing at?
Just people.
October last year, Richard Allen was arrested for the murder. About a month ago, Richard Allen's defence released a 136-page document claiming that Odinists, people who follow a Norse religion, actually did it and named a bunch of people. So the case is all blown up. So in a few minutes' time, there's going to be a court hearing where the judge decides what she's going to do about this situation. And then also, in the last week or so, there's been some leaked crime scene photos. So the judge is furious. So that's what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly, Holly. Kyle, you should watch me. Then you'd know.
Nah, Holly.
Just go away now. Right, it's just being annoying. His girlfriend might be coming round as well later, so she's into true crime, but she watches true crime on TikTok. So I'm not sure how well informed she is on these things. Okay, right. All right, so back to this. So this is the F on the tree. This is Libby's blood. So this is a crime scene photo. I don't necessarily have a problem with this at all, or else I wouldn't be showing it. That's the increased contrast. The reason why I think it's important to show this is because so much has been made of it. The defence has made so much of this being an F, not an F as in the current alphabet F, but a Odinist symbol, or a Norse symbol, a rune that denotes Odin, or Anzus is the rune. But Anzus is an F that has, hold on, this is Anzus here. That's Anzus. So that F, oh, you can't see me pointing, can you? So the 1, 2, 3, 4th rune across from the left on the top line, that's Anzus. That means God or Odin or power or something. But the F on the tree, actually, if you can see it as an F, the horizontal lines or the diagonal lines, little lines, actually point upwards. So that's Fayu. And Fayu means wealth. So, and then the other rune that the defense believes there to be at the scene is in sticks. So the sticks that were placed on Abby's body. So as I haven't seen the crime scene photos, I'm gonna show you what Court TV said the sticks look like based on the defence's memorandum. And then that's what the sticks on Abby's body look like. So presumably the body would be led horizontal. Presumably. But 2 people who have been sent the crime scene photos have done depictions of them. So this is from Gray Hughes from the other day. Gray Hughes was sent them, and Gray Hughes did a rough and ready depiction of what the sticks look like on the girls' bodies. So the right hand side he did first, that's Libby, and then he actually got a figure, like a person. He has a program that does this to make it more, I guess, realistic. And then so the left hand one is Abby, and then these, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, these are Rick Snail's drawings. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they are, because he was also sent them. So the right-hand side one is Libby, with her arms stretching up, touching the tree. And then the left-hand one is Abby. So you can see that they look very similar to Gray Hughes's. So clearly these 2 people, yeah, okay, those are Rick Snares, thank you. These 2 people are seeing the same pictures, and we do know that they are real. Now, whether you believe they're runes or not, or attempts at runes, is somewhat immaterial. The point is that this is unusual as a crime scene. Now, whether you believe that the blood markings on the tree are actually a rune, Fairhue or something else, or whether you believe it's just blood spatter, or whether you believe the killer had blood on his hand and he, I don't know, put his hand on the tree to pull himself up, maybe, and you believe that, hold on, I have to go this way, whether you believe that's a handprint. I've heard some people say that it looks like a handprint. I can feel an experiment coming on. I can feel an experiment coming on. I feel I need to get some blood, or fake blood even. But fake blood might not have the same consistency as actual blood. And as a vegan, I don't want to go into a butcher's shop to buy meat just to get blood from that meat. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I've not got a problem with blood, right? Seriously, I've not got a problem with blood, but I'm not going to go and buy a chunk of meat just to get some blood off it. I'm not. So it would have to be fake blood, and then would it have the same consistency? So what I'd want to do is mark a tree. See, the other thing is we don't know how big this F is, or this thing is. We've no, is it 6 inches high? Is it 2 inches high? Is it 10 inches high? We've no idea how big that F is. So we don't know if that is the exact size of a handprint. And if it is, could it be a handprint? The long horizontal line, sorry, the long vertical line doesn't necessarily look like a handprint to me, because that would be the palm, wouldn't it? So that, I guess it might be vertical if there was blood just on the kind of the top of the palm. And I guess it could be a handprint. I don't know. It could be blood spatter, because there are other markings not as part of the F, but it's very difficult to tell where they are because of the tree bark. Looks like an E. I thought along the bottom. So the bottom, I can't point to it, but you've got the top horizontal, the middle horizontal, which isn't kind of filled in, and then you've got like a very thin line on the bottom. It does look like an E. So whether it's deliberate or not, I don't know. But you have to admit that these sticks on the bodies are weird. Now, is it just a case that the killer was in the process of completely covering their bodies with sticks? Now, to me, surely it would be quicker if you wanted to get away from that scene. It would be quicker to gather up bunches of leaves and put them over. Why use sticks? You're going to have to hunt to find more sticks than you are kind of just the leaves and the earth, and just pull it all up. But if you put the sticks on the bottom and then covered them with leaves, I guess. But how long was the killer intending to spend doing this? What would be the point? But the thing that gets me, seeing what Rick and Gray have done, they do look very different than I expected. They look different than Court TV. I need to sort these slides out. That's Court TV's depiction of the F. But they look different than the Court TV depiction of the sticks. But they did it based on the memorandum, the description in the memorandum. And I remember when the memorandum came out, I did some sketches just based on the memorandum. And I didn't save them, actually. Libby's looked a little bit different than that. Maybe. Abby's, I think I had that very similar. But when you see the people who've actually seen the crime scene photo have done, each are very similar. I think you'll agree. That's Gray's. That's Rick's. They're very similar. Now, did anybody see Patrick Westfall on Sleuth Intuition. So I did, he's actually been on Sleuth Intuition's channel twice now. I covered the first one, the phone call. I reviewed the entire phone call, but he's been on since and done a live stream. And I thought about going through that, but he said a lot of the same things as last time. But Sleuth Intuition, whose name I don't know, so I'm just going to call him Sleuth Intuition, asked Patrick whether he thought these sticks would be runes. Now, I don't know whether Patrick's actually seen the crime scene photos that Rick and Gray have seen. I doubt that he has. You might say, well, if he's the killer, he definitely has, but there's that. But he said that they are definitely not runes. But I'm still open. I'm open-minded. I'm very open-minded. Because if you look at Abby's on Gray's, and you look at this one on Rick's, this is Abby. I mean, actually, that looks less like an H on Abby's than it does on Gray's. It's the same shape, but the top bits. So you've got the two not quite vertical and then the horizontal. On Gray's, kind of the top half of the vertical above the horizontal is longer than on Rick's. But the depictions of Libby are very similar. Very similar. But would there be runes? Well, okay. Now, I'm not a rune expert. I've just got these off the internet. All right. So let's be clear. I've just got these off the internet. I've not got them from anywhere else other than the internet. Not a rune expert. I know it's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. I could see the F as well. I could see the F. That's why I feel an experiment coming on. Patrick was the king of deflection. Oh, he certainly was. He certainly was. Anyway, he said that they're not runes. Well, okay. There's various different runic alphabets. Like the runes themselves developed over time. And different groups had slightly different ways that they depicted the runes. So this is just the old alphabet, the old alphabet. And then there's some more recent ones. But the H, or Hegel, or Hagelas, which means hail, is, so you've got the second down, so second line from top, third one in, that's hail, or H. So does that look like, as the defense say, the rune, quote unquote rune, on Abby's body, does that look like an H? It does. More so on Gray's. I mean, they're not quite vertical. But what about Libby's? Well, you see, again, Gray's is a little bit different than Rick's. Gray's not got the... He's got the one going across the neck, and then the two sticks coming down from it. And these big sticks, what's with the big sticks? Like each girl had a big stick on her left side. What's with that? Well, I agree with you, Pincho. I agree with you. You'd have to see the real images. Yeah. I mean, these are sufficiently similar to me to make me believe that they've both seen the same picture, but there is subtle differences in them that make me want to see the real image. Not that I want the listen, don't get me wrong. I don't want this picture of Abby and Libby's bodies to circulate around the internet and everybody have a look at it. I don't want that. I really don't want that. I don't want that to happen. I'd rather not see them at all and wait till the trial than be sent them knowing full well that I'd got them because they were being sent to everybody, and that would be disaster because somebody would be tempted to put them online to get a few extra clicks. So I'd rather not see them. I don't want to see them if those are the circumstances in which they are going to be sent to the world and his wife. I'd rather have not them been sent to anybody. I'd rather not be having this conversation. None of us should have had this conversation. They should not have been leaked. The F and the shoes. Okay. All right. In any case, there's always a leak in any case. But crime scene photos of children's bodies, no, that's a step too far. Anyway, what about this rune? It's called Uruks, maybe. I don't know how to pronounce it. Uruks. So top line, second from the left, the U, and it's called Strength. So if you look at the, so there's two versions of it, but if you look at the right hand of those versions, how similar does that look to these pictures? I think it could. Now it could look like Uruks on Libby's in greys, or Uruks could be Abby on Rick's. So I don't know. I'm open-minded. I still think Richard Allen's guilty. Well, let's put it this way. That I've not seen anything as of yet that would lead me to believe that Richard Allen is completely innocent. What I do see, though, is reasonable doubt. That's what I see. And if I was a juror, given the information that we've got, now, obviously, the jury is going to have way more information than we've got to date. But if the defense did go down this line and they were convincing about it, as a juror, even if I thought he was guilty, there'd be sufficient reasonable doubt for me to really struggle with voting guilty. Because beyond a reasonable doubt is exactly that. And as a juror, you have it drummed into you by the judge. I've been a juror on a murder case, as I've told you before, in 2020, and the judge drummed it into us that if you have any doubt, if you have reasonable doubt, you have to find the defendants not guilty. If the prosecution have not met their burden, that beyond a reasonable doubt, these men are guilty, you have to find them not guilty. You have to. So I'm more than convinced that in Richard Allen's case, Judge Francis Gull will say exactly the same. They always say exactly the same. If the prosecution does not meet their burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty, you have to acquit them. Well, you have to say not guilty. Now, in my, and this is the last thing I'm going to show you before we move over to the hearing. I am got very mindful of the time here. This was the poll. So I showed this the other day on my video, and it's had a few more votes, 2.8 thousand votes, and 21% to the question, in your opinion, based on evidence today, do you think Richard Allen committed the Delphi murders? And 21% said, no, he's an innocent man. 79%, 79% said, no, he's guilty in some shape or form. I gave two options, acted alone or acted, yes, but others are involved as well. But 21% said, no, he's an innocent man. And there's a lot of people in the comments to this post said, I can't decide, I don't know. But if you don't know, you have to, on a jury, there's no don't know option. If you're a real juror, there's no don't know option. There really isn't. No don't know option. If you don't know, you have doubt. And if you have doubt, you have to vote not guilty. So taking all of those don't knows out, like people were, I wish you put a don't know option in, or I just can't decide. Well, you're then a not guilty. You're a not guilty. So actually, of the people who saw this post, there were people who did not vote because they didn't know. So that 21% is actually probably slightly higher, not because everybody thought he was innocent, but that there was doubt, there was reasonable doubt. But 21% of 12 on a jury is 2.4. So that's between 2 and 3 jurors who would have believed he was an innocent man. Obviously, you can't have 0.4 of a person. It's probably closer to 3 rather than 2, because there were people who saw this, as I just said, who said, I don't know, I can't decide, I just don't know. So if 3 out of 12, that's a quarter of them, said not guilty, that is a hung jury. That's a hung jury. That's a hung jury. Oh, you couldn't see that, could you? You couldn't see that. Sorry. That's what I was showing you. Not that you couldn't, not that there was really much to see. But that's the poll. But now we're going to switch over to Law and Crime Network and wait for them. You believe he was railroaded? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And because I don't know, if I was a juror, I would have to vote not guilty. I would. And not because I think he's innocent. Because I don't know. There's reasonable doubt. So I really hope that if Richard Allen is guilty, that the prosecution have a lot up their sleeve. They're going to have a lot up their sleeve to counter this defense. So we are going to, I'm just going to behind the scenes look at Twitter. Just to see if, oh, Rex Heuermann's trending. No way. That was last night's news. That was last night's news. Let's see. Oh, no way. 16 minutes ago. Kathy Rooson, who's that? Executive producer at Lawn Crap Network. Okay. All right, so still waiting for the Delphi hearing to begin. It was supposed to start at 2 p.m. Eastern. I thought it was. I said that. No, I didn't. I thought it was 2:30. And then I thought, no, it's 2. Okay, so when it does finally start, we can't start the live stream until 30 minutes later. 30 minutes delay ordered by judge. Okay. No way! Dun, dun, dun. Richard Allen's attorney quit today. The hearing can't go forward. Allen has been transported back to jail. No way. No way. No way. Oh, no way. That was 14 seconds ago. Breaking news.
Oh dear, oh dear.
He got scared. Wow. Well, there went the theory. Does that say something? Was he going to get fired? Right, we're going to wait for confirmation of exactly what's gone here. So there's only Kathy Rooson. Wait, court just started. What on earth? So court just started, and then a minute later, Richard Allen's attorney quit. The hearing can't go forward. He's been transported back to jail. So they went into the courtroom, and the attorney said, I quit. This is a serious circus, isn't it? I wonder which one. Because there's Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rossi. Is it Brad? I know his surname's Rossi. So which one? Is he going to be appointed a lawyer? Yes. Can he get us his spot? I don't know. I don't know, because we don't know what they're... Like, an attorney can quit if they want to. The judge, though, like if the public defenders, and these are public defenders sometimes are not allowed to quit. Happened in the Megan Boswell case. That's a complete shit show and all. In the Megan Boswell case, her attorney wanted to quit, and the judge said, no, we've got to keep this on track because there's been so many delays. But then the attorney still carried on badgering the judge, and the judge finally relented, and then it put the case back 2 years. Megan Boswell was due to go to trial in February of this year, and now it's been put back to February 2025. This is what I mean. What the actual F? Yeah, is that fair, you or Anzus, though? Oh, my word. Let's see what the replies are. Wow. No advance warning to the court. On what grounds did his attorney quit? What? Wow. This is crazy. I'm going to change the title of this live stream. Where should I put? Breaking. Because everybody puts breaking, don't they? Richard Allen's attorney quit ahead of court hearing. Okay. Okay, wow, that's crazy. Crazy. I need to know all the things now. The Law and Crime Network are not streaming. Because they're like, what? Let's see. Let's see if Court TV are live. I need to know all the things now. Court TV. Is she coming round, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm going to pick her up.
Oh. No, Court TV are not live. I need to know all the things. They can't leave us like this. They can't leave us like this. I can tell when Kyle's girlfriend's coming round because he goes all around the house spraying air freshener.
Right, don't expose me to like 800 people.
Sorry, I did that right into the mic. He's just said, don't expose me to 800 people. That's what he does.
Well-mannered.
Well-mannered. It doesn't smell. I mean,
saying it does.
What do you mean? What are you spraying air freshener for?
It's a bit of freshness.
Bit of freshness. Open the window.
It's cold.
Karen says we love you, Kyle.
Thanks, Karen.
He says thanks, Karen.
My friend's mum's called Karen.
Oh, his friend's mum's called Karen. Did you know that? No, you didn't.
Have a vaccine.
Kelly says it's cute. It is cute. I'm also going to tell you that he hoovers all around the entire house as well.
I've not done that today.
He's not done it today because he only did it 2 days ago because she came around 2 days ago. So it's considered acceptable for the stairs and the landing area in his bedroom. She
won't be along, so.
Oh, she's not going to be here long.
I've got work in the morning.
As if, right, his girlfriend comes round to see him, if she's going to go around the entire carpet looking for a tiny speck of a dog hair or something.
She won't care, but it's just manners, isn't it?
I don't reckon that anybody's ever hoovered their house.
Right.
Like when they were waiting for me to come round. And I've certainly never hoovered my house waiting for anyone to come round. I can tell you that 100% for sure. It wouldn't even occur to me. To clean up if someone was coming round. Not even occur to me. That's just the way I am. You like, take me as you find me. Kyle's thinking of his girlfriend. He is. Well done, Kyle. He's a bit of a clean freak. He's not too bad. He's not that bad. Or else he couldn't live here. But he complains. He complains about the dogs. All right, we've got to find out more details here. I can't think straight. I can't think straight, right. So there's only Kathy Roosen. There's only Kathy Roosen who's... Yeah, I love Twitter. Oh, come on. Okay. Withdraw representation, leaving Delphi murder suspect without lawyers. What, both of them? Have both of them quit? Attorneys! Both of them! No way. Shit. Wow. Bombshell. Well, it was a bombshell, but not the bombshell that we thought. I want to know why. So do I. We need somebody who's actually there, who can put their ear to the floor. Yeah, that's right, Stella. They seem to really have his back, though. So much work. They have put a lot of work into this. A lot, way more than the average public defender would. I mean, pulling that memorandum together really had to be time-consuming. I mean, look, Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rossi wouldn't have sat there and wrote the entire thing themselves. They'd have had, their team do it. But still, it's a lot of work. And also, it's a lot of their reputation's on the line. Putting out something so spectacular, like so wild, that it was. I said this when it came out. I said this is a make or break moment potentially for the defense. This could break their career, and maybe they've realized that. But how many conspiracy theories is this going to be? Is this going to generate now? Are they scared? Are they scared for their lives? People are going to be saying. Have they had threats? People are going to be saying. I mean, threats to their lives, not threats of being sued. Like Patrick Westfall says he's going to sue them. Wolf, there is no hearing. There is no hearing. The hearing's been cancelled because the attorneys have quit. And then you're going to have people who say, well, this is just confirmation that everything they said was just hogwash, and they've just made this up because well, they've not made it up because it was in the discovery. They've not made it up, but they've made way more of it than it should have been. Or is it simply they felt it more appropriate to quit before getting fired? But anyway, thank you, Candlely, for being a member for 17 months. They certainly do need justice. You're not wrong there. This is now set there. There's no trial in January. There's no trial in January now. This sets the case back to the beginning. Because he has to have new lawyers appointed. They have to learn the case. They have to do all the things while Richard Allen sits in jail. I'm going to put a banner up for people coming in. Richard Allen's attorneys quit. No hearing. Because people are going to be coming in now wanting the hearing. And there is no hearing. It's All right, we're going to refresh. But if they've quit, they're no longer under the gag order, are they? It's better for them to quit than lose on a very focused case. I don't know. I mean, defense lawyers are used to losing. They're used to losing. You know, public defenders are, they're appointed. So it's not like you get to choose your cases if you're a public defender. Oh, thank you, Ray. Congratulations on 64K. Did you know, right? Did you know that if everybody who watched my channel subscribed, I'd have more than 100K subscribers? Because there's about 40% of people who watch my channel are not subscribed. I mean, that's fine. If you don't want to subscribe, if you never subscribe to any channel, that's fine. I'm just saying I'd have more than 100K subscribers if everybody who watched my channel did subscribe. Plenty of channels I watch that I'm not subscribed to. Sometimes I think I'm subscribed and I'm not. And sometimes I get unsubscribed randomly to channels because that's what YouTube does. Wait, what's this? The shammings of what? Waiting to connect with defense diaries. Yeah, but we want the actual attorneys. We want people who are actually there. We want people who are on the ground. We want people on the ground. What's this? What's this? Golan's here in Fort Wayne after 4 minutes. All right. So judge, to read from the bottom. Guards are milling around outside the courtroom. What are you chewing? What are you chewing? What have you got? Why do you chew plastic bottles? Oh, have it. I don't care. All right. Guards are milling around the courtroom. Attorneys have entered the courtroom. The judge has entered the courtroom. The judge announced that Alan's attorneys have confirmed with the court that they are withdrawing from the case. Alan is not in the courtroom and has been transported back to Carroll County. Well, he's not in Carroll. Why has he been transported back to Carroll County? He's not in Carroll County. Thank you, RD, for the $10. Thank you. That's very kind. You think Defence Diaries was going today? Is it Kyla, one of the dogs? It's Cassie. She's trying to attract attention. She either goes and finds something she can chew to wind me up, or she chews my chair. She doesn't like me live streaming. She doesn't like it. The judge resets another court date for October 31st and dismisses the hearing. That's it. Wow. That's crazy. But they're no longer under the gag order. JLR's talking about it's Baldwin that's quit. Yeah, but it says attorneys. So what about Rossi? Thank you, Edgy Mum, for the £3. Thank you. Hey, dog squeaks a ball when you're on your phone. Yeah, they do it. They do it on purpose. They find something noisy as well. Seriously speechless. Yeah. It's completely bonkers. All right, let's see who's live. I want like somebody like Court TV to be live with the attorneys on. CBS News not talking about Delphi. No, I don't think we're going to find out the reason why they've quit until they release a statement. Hey, whoa! Good Lord. Ashley has gifted 50 memberships. Ashley, that's above and beyond the call of duty. Right, I'm going to have to try and read these names. Thank you so much. Pamela, Sweet Peas, CW, Love to Joni, Hindsight, Leah, Stella, Jean, Sherry, Brenda, Jackie, Straight Talker, Angie, Mr. Tomato Heads, See Something, Say Something, Veroma, Jackie, Yaya, Ray. Oh, there's so many. I can't read them all. There's so many. That's crazy. Thank you, Ashley. That's amazing. Welcome, new members. Welcome. So, courtesy of Ashley, you have been gifted membership to this channel for 1 month, after which time the membership just goes away. It doesn't mean that you're going to be roped into YouTube taking money off you every month. It doesn't mean that at all. Obviously, you can choose to renew your membership yourself. There is a members tab. If you go to the channel homepage, there's a members tab, and there you will see, I'll show you very quickly, just for everybody, I guess, as well. Some people don't know where it is. Membership. And then members can see, this is what it looks like to members. So you get some status updates, members lives, little videos like this, metal detecting my lost keys. I've not done a members live for a while. I am going to be doing one very soon, but there's been that many things going on, that many cases that have had updates and crazy stuff happen that I've not had the chance to plan a members live. Thank you, Jennifer, for the $20. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. The courts would have just given the lawyer security if safety was an issue. Chances are they feel he's lied and manipulated them, and they can't actually defend him as a result. I think defense teams know that there's a good chance their client's lying to them, or sometimes the client admits to them what they've done, and they defend them nonetheless, because everybody has a right to a defense. Cassie, you're winding me up now. Everybody has a right to a defense, and it's client attorney privilege that they don't have to say. They don't have to say that the client's admitted it. The attorneys are actually the only people that a defendant can admit it to, who has no obligation to tell anyone. This whole Odin things was a hoax. I don't think it was a hoax, no. I don't think it was a hoax, because it was in the prosecution's own discovery as a theory that the prosecution was working with. Now, obviously, that's just according to the defense. because we haven't seen the discovery. So we don't know. They quit because of the leaks. I think it's more likely that they knew the judge was furious and was going to fire them. I'll go back to what I said though before. There has to be, for it simply to be an ex-employee who's had these photos and chosen to leak them, you surely can't be held responsible for what an ex-employee does. Surely. That's surely not how the world works. Like if I went and wrote something really inflammatory or released something that wasn't, you know, one of my past employers didn't put them in a good light, they couldn't go to that employer and say that it's their fault. It's my fault. It's up to then that employer to take whatever action against me, if there was any action that could be taken. Surely the same thing applies. So there has to be more to it. This is crazy. This is blowing my mind. I've got a headache now. Judge is talking. Talking where? Where's the judge talking, Marissa? Where's the judge talking? What's the judge got to say? Where's the judge talking? Grey has run. I'm not going to stream Grey. Hold on. I think that's from the court hearing, isn't it? Hold on. Hold on. Let's have a look. Oh no, let's take care of Maya trial. Hold on, Richard.
Appearing in court, 2 o'clock Eastern time, and for the first time,
work and a lot of study when it comes as anything.
we'll see how that transpires. Again, the 2 o'clock is that
no,
here.
No, that's no one. Thank you, Sarah. All right, what news channel has got it on? Because I can't stream Grey. That's mean. I can't do that. I want to know where Grey's got it from. It's on Court TV. I was on Court TV. Court TV. It's not on the YouTube channel. Court TV. I've got a news article. Half an hour after the last-minute hearing was scheduled, the judge announced that the hearing was cancelled because Alan's attorneys had withdrawn from the case. Alan is charged with murder, blah, blah, blah. Gull immediately said there'd been an unexpected turn of events in the case and that attorneys representing Richard Allen had withdrawn from the case. She said She granted one attorney's oral motion to withdraw and would accept the other's written request, which was expected in the coming days. So they definitely have both withdrawn. CBS for Indy. Right, I'll get to that in a minute. Alan is talked to the public defender, and Gould said she would reach out to a new attorney to join the case as his representation. Because Alan no longer has representation, the hearing was cancelled and he was transported back to jail. All right. CBS 4. CBS 4. This is mad. All right, this is what I'm seeing. CBS 4 Indy. Or is it CBS4Indy.com? See, I always end up chasing my tail. CBS 4 Indy live stream. I'm going to have to put my VPN on. If I disappear for a second, it's because I've put my VPN on, but it comes back. All right. I will try this. Is it actually live though? Fox 59. No, thanks. Oh, I'm getting a stupid ad now. This is the mayhem part of Murder and Mayhem. I think it's probably just a replay. Let's listen to this.
Suspect Richard Allen is scheduled to be in court tomorrow.
The case's chief. Opening the doors to cameras could quash public distrust.
The more
If it was from the hearing, it's only like Court TV is live on TV. Well, I'm not on TV. Is that him today? No, that's stock footage from a previous event. Hold on. Court TV. I'm determined to see this. I'm determined to see it. Watch live. All right, this is Court TV Live.
Justice correspondent Matt Johnson is in Fort Wayne, Indiana, was there for the hearing, joining us live. Matt, so glad to have you on with us. Tell us about what happened in this hearing.
Yeah, I was in that courtroom and my eyes were on what was supposed to be the defense table and also Richard Allen seated there. He wasn't in our camera shots. That was court TV.
So it's a 3-minute clip. All right, okay. So it's what was filmed at the actual hearing. To anyone alive is streaming it on their website now. All right, we're going to get it in a minute, aren't we? Let's listen to what this guy said.
Cameras in that courtroom because he wasn't actually brought into the courtroom for that. after the judge granted that his two defense attorneys, Bradley Rosie and Andrew Baldwin, were off the case, then he was never even brought in with no representation, and he was transported back to Carroll County. All of this a major bombshell here in Allen County, where Judge Fran Gull usually presides. That's her courtroom. Usually she drives down to Carroll County to hold these hearings. But again, this was an emergency hearing of sorts after those leaked photos of the crime scene that some say are connected to a former employee with the defense team. So that could be the reason behind all of this. But Judge Ashley, everyone was shocked. You could hear pin clicks. You could hear a pin drop in that courtroom today. After a long wait, we were waiting for this to start on time at 2 o'clock Eastern. It didn't. There was a long delay. We saw Allen's wife, Kathy Allen, walk in. She was in tears. She was holding her face, and she sat down in the front row. And then she was let out by deputies. Richard Allen's mother was also there. She came back into the courtroom and grabbed their jackets. And Barbara Mack and I, my producer, who is seated next to me, we looked at each other and we said, wow, something major is about to happen. And it did, Judge Ashley.
You are not kidding. Something major happened. All right. So I know you said that he was not in the courtroom. The mother was in the courtroom. It looked like there were a lot of other people in the courtroom. Are you able to share with us, Matt? Did it appear to be media, interested parties, or do we even know?
First off, the courtroom itself, as you could see in that video, looked like a movie set, just a gilded, historic courthouse in general. And that brought everyone to an awe when we were let in after waiting several hours.
Oh, I was talking and I was muted. I think I've got it. I think this is it. So let's have a look. Oh, you're going to play an ad. Of course, you're going to play an ad. You're going to play an ad. All right. Yeah, nobody knew about it. Can you believe it? Why did they keep saying he was taken to Carroll County? I don't know. I don't know. Was he not taken back to Westville? Or has he been now remanded in Carroll County Court? So many questions. Right, here we go.
Thank you. You may be seated. We on? All right, we are on the record in the state of Indiana versus Richard Allen, 08-C01-2210-MR1. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. McClellan, Mr. Luttrell, for your patience. We've had an unexpected turn of events, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier this afternoon, the defense attorneys have withdrawn their representation of Mr. Allen. Mr. Baldwin made an oral motion to withdraw. I granted that oral motion to withdraw, and Mr. Rosie will be submitting a written motion to withdraw, I'm assuming within the next couple of days. They have confirmed with the court that Mr. Allen's financial situation remains static, meaning he is continuing to be entitled to appointed counsel. I will reach out to public defenders to make that appointment. As Mr. Allen is now without counsel, I've ordered him transported back to the Department of Correction. Mr. McClellan, I know that we have already scheduled a hearing in the Carroll Circuit Court October 31st at 9 a.m. I'd like to maintain that hearing if we can, please. I think at that point we can have counsel appointed. I'd like to set a new trial date. Obviously, I don't believe counsel will be prepared within the next couple of months to try a case of this magnitude in January. So we'll set dates for the trial. I think we need to set a date as well for the suppression hearing that was filed now by former counsel. I have asked the attorneys to provide all of the discovery previously provided back to the state of Indiana. I know I entered a protective order on the discovery, and honestly, I don't remember when that was. I think it was in April of this year, perhaps, maybe sooner. But the attorneys have been ordered to provide all of that discovery back to the state. And if you would maintain that until such time as it can be turned over to successor counsel, I would appreciate that, Mr. McClelland. I've also asked the defense attorneys to cooperate with successor counsel. They're not required to do that, but I think that they will in the best interests of Mr. Allen. They're not required to provide any of their work product, but they will be required and have indicated that they will cooperate with successor counsel. So obviously, without counsel, Mr. Allen's hearing cannot proceed. I apologize that I know many of you have been waiting for several hours. I know, Mr. McClelland, you and your staff, and you had some witnesses here that came earlier to have the hearing, but clearly this is outside of our control. So is there anything, Mr. McClelland, that you'd like to state for the record?
No, Your Honor, I think we can address the other issues at the October 31st court date.
All right. With that being said, then, we are in recess. Thank you. I'll see you in October.
All right. Veterans.
Wow.
When you're struggling, soon becomes later, becomes someday, becomes.
Wow. Wow. Court TV is still on.
In that courtroom, the first two rows on each side was.
I want to see if the attorneys are going to speak.
The court that you can't go forward, and this time is crucial time because the case was about to go to trial.
Yeah. And here's the other thing I like about this judge and certainly appreciate. She gets it. She says, okay, clearly he can't go forward today without an attorney. So this hearing's continued to October 31st. But then, as I just discussed with Matt, she also said, given the magnitude of this case, they may not be prepared to go to trial in January. And every once in a while, you see a judge who takes a hardline approach, which is, this is when the trial is, you better be ready. So I think she is really handling this beautifully in terms of, we may have to pivot.
Okay. All right. Not really telling us anything. Yeah, the hearing on the 31st, Mandy, Amendment for 11 months, Law and Crime Network of the judge speaking. Is it what we've just watched? So that was the hearing. That was the sum total of the hearing that I've just played. So all 3 minutes of it. Cliffhanger. Yeah, it is. It's one of those dun 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 moments, but it's, oh God, it would be funny if it wasn't completely tragic. If it wasn't so tragic that there's two little girls who have waited since February 2017 to get justice. And now we are literally back to square one. So just the families, the community, and also Richard Allen's family. Right, Richard Allen's family are completely innocent in this. Even if he's as guilty as hell, they are completely innocent in this. And everybody was gearing up for the trial. And one way or another, Richard Allen was either going to be found guilty or not guilty. And if not guilty, then the prosecution are going to have to come up with something else. They're going to have to come up with a new suspect. If, indeed, they believe that, you know, on the measure of things, that maybe Richard Allen wasn't guilty. If he was guilty and he got off with it, then there's never going to be justice. But at least we'd have answers. We'd know the answers to a lot of our questions. Why can't Richard Allen request this case be tried in a totally different county? Or he is. See something, say something. It's being tried in Allen County. Oh, rather the judge is from out. Oh, I don't know actually. No. I'm wrong. It is being. No. What happened was the trial itself is going to take place in Carroll County, but the jury are going to come from other counties. I think the jury is going to come from Allen County, and the judge herself is also from Allen County because the is Kyle Lowe in the chat? I can see I'm going to get my chat completely derailed now. Hi, Kyle, from the other room. So the judge herself is from Allen County after the original judge recused himself because he said he was scared. He was scared. So the new attorneys, like I said, it's all new now. Everything is new. The new attorneys will maybe feel that they want to apply for a different venue, in which case they can do. Whether the judge is going to accept that, I don't know, but they can accept that. Scared of what? Good question. Scared for his family. And we all thought, well, I don't know about you, but I thought it was because tensions are really high in Carroll County, and if Richard Allen was found not guilty, somehow the judge would be blamed for it. But anyway, whichever way, the judge in Carroll County recused himself. And now we have these two attorneys done an incredible amount of work on this case who've now quit. The question is why? After naming names who were threatened, I'm going to tell you that I think that's my gut feeling. That's my gut feeling, is that they've felt threatened in some way. Could it be simpler than that? Could it be that they knew the judge was going to fire them? They knew they'd done wrong. Maybe it was them that leaked these photos and they quit while they were ahead. But I don't know, you guys, given everything that's happened, given these ordinists, I think there's something really dodgy about it. I really do. Do I think the Odin theory transfers to new lawyers? It depends completely on how they take this case forward. So as we heard Judge Gull say, that the previous attorneys, Baldwin and Rossi, have agreed to cooperate so they can hand over all of their own discovery. But it's up to the new attorneys now to make sense of the entire situation. So this is a tough order. They're a tough act to follow. Baldwin and Rossi are a tough act to follow. So it could be that the new attorney feels that the Odin theory isn't one that they want to go down, that they don't feel there's enough evidence, or maybe speaking to Richard, they believe that they need to take a different line. I don't know. It's completely now in the hands of the gods. Pardon the pun. The hands of the Norse gods, maybe. Could new lawyers get him bail while catching up? They can ask. They can certainly ask, but whether he'd be granted bail, I doubt he would. And would he be safe? Is he safer in jail, or is he safer on the outside? Odin or no Odin, R.A. is still Bridge Guy. I think he looks a lot like Bridge Guy, I have to say. What? Look it up. Indiana R. Profil Cond. What your abbreviations there? Indiana something something. Don't think the gods want to touch this case. You might be right. Whichever god you believe is up there, maybe you're right. It's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. It's not fair to the families. It's not fair to the memory of Abby and Libby. It's not fair to Richard. It's not fair to his family. But at the same time, the attorneys have quit for a reason, and I would imagine that it's a very good reason. Whatever that reason is, I imagine it's going to be a very good reason. Whether are we ever going to know the truth, though? Are they just going to come out and say, "Oh, you know, we decided we weren't going to touch it"? I mean, what excuse are they going to give? Oh man, Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria. Don't forget, Richard Allen is going back to a maximum security prison with no attorneys. This shouldn't happen in America. This is actually frightening. I agree with you, Queen Victoria, whoever you are. That is scary. They could do anything to him now. And listen, I'll go back to what I said a few months ago in April, when that picture came out of Richard looking 40 pounds lighter than he went into prison. He's in a maximum security facility that he should not be in, supposedly for his own safety. He should not be in. He should be in a county jail. Whether or not he's safe in Carroll County, if he's not safe in Carroll County, Cass County offered to have him. And he's not been transferred. It was a no. No, we're not gonna. But at the end of the day, like I said in April, you cannot try a dead man. And anything could happen to Richard Allen in that place. And it's not going to be at the hands of the other inmates because he's in solitary. It's going to be at the hands of the guards. And although they claim, those two guards have issued affidavits that they are not Odinists, they have admitted to wearing Odin patches that could be considered Odinist in their appearance. But these are tough guys. Why isn't he in a county jail? That's a very good question, Christy. Supposedly, he was sent to Westville because they could protect him better than a county jail. And also, they could transport him more safely than a county jail. Now, listen. Chris Watts was in a county jail, and he didn't come to any harm. And everybody hated Chris Watts in Weld County, and he wasn't in a county jail of another county. He was in Weld County. So if it's good enough for Chris Watts when everybody hated him, all the inmates were jeering when he had to be transferred to, I don't know, the visitor room or wherever. He had to be let out for exercise on his own. Right? They were jeering him, and he managed to survive. Nothing bad happened to him. Mandy, thank you for the 35 South American Rand. Is the chat about attorneys resigning as PD, public defenders, so they can go pro bono privately a possibility? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If they've quit, they've quit. They can't then, there'd be no benefit to them to do that. Because as public defenders, they're getting paid for their time from the state. Whereas if they went private pro bono, they wouldn't be getting paid for the work they've done. So no, there'd be no benefit to them to do that. Yes, RD, good point. Brian Koberger is in a county jail. Brian Koberger seems to be having a hail time. Got a television in his cell, you know, looks well. Looks actually better than he did on the outside. He looks healthier, in my opinion, than he did on the outside. So whatever vegan meals they're giving him seems to be doing all right by him. It's probably rice and beans. Nothing wrong with that. I like rice and beans. Rice and beans are good. But yeah, they seem to be looking after him. Seems all right. And Brian Koberger, listen, Ann Taylor is the nitpicker queen from hell. And if she got any whiff that there was any improprieties going on in Brian Koberger's care, she'd be there as like the ice queen of Narnia to raise hell to get better conditions for him. Has she? No, because he's being treated well. He's not being harmed. Nobody's getting to him. So there's no reason, if Brian Koberger can be in a county jail, Chris Watts can be in a county jail, there's no reason why Richard Allen, all 5'4" of him, can't be looked after in a county jail. He should not be in a maximum security prison being looked after by a pair of thugs who were videotaping his attorney meetings. Videotaping them. Have you ever heard of that? Listen, Richard Allen could be as guilty as sin, and I still would not agree with the way that Richard Allen was treated. He could have murdered 30 children, and I still would not agree with the way that Richard Allen was being treated. It's wrong. And are there going to be any repercussions for that prison? Are there going to be any repercussion for those guards who were videotaping him other than, oh, take your hoarding patches off and, oh, you better not videotape him anymore because the attorneys don't like it? Well, no, those attorneys who were looking out for him, who were at least fighting for his right to have private attorney meetings, the new attorneys now have got to have all those battles again, no doubt. So I'm sorry, but this is just wrong. It's all wrong. All wrong. Let's just create a lynch mob. Let's just save the great state of Indiana some money and just create a lynch mob and just go lynching anybody that he thinks guilty, because it's the same thing. One of the persons who shared that leaked evidence took his life earlier this week. I'm going to assume this plays into today's bombshell. I'm not going to assume that. Because, right, correct me if I'm wrong, right? The person who took his own life last week, he wasn't the leaker, was he? He was like the middleman. Am I right in that? Do you have proof of them videotaping them? Yes. Disorderly guards are spitting in his food, tasing him, threatening his family, etc. Totally believe it. I believe it. I believe it as well. I believe it. Curious nightmares. Are you left? Oh, wow. Well, in a nutshell, the hearing that was meant to happen, the emergency hearing, was cancelled after 3 minutes because Richard Allen's attorneys have quit. You can't try a dead man. You just can't. Dying to know the reasons behind the sudden withdrawal. I'm wondering if it relates to the evidence leak. Okay, there's nothing new going on Twitter. You don't think the admitted recording attorney, what's that? Attorney-client conversations. Tweeted you a link to reasons they can quit. All right. Hold on, I'll just turn it onto that because I don't know that whoever sends me private messages is gonna. Hold on. Where am I here? Notifications. Only reasons the lawyers could quit. Thank you, Marissa. All right. So, okay. Declining or terminating representation. Excerpt as stated in paragraph C. A lawyer shall not represent a client or where representation, blah, blah, blah. A lawyer may withdraw from representing a client if 1. Withdrawal can be accomplished without material adverse effect on the interests of the client, or 2. The client persists in a court of action involving the lawyer's services that the lawyer reasonably believes is criminal or fraudulent. The client has used the lawyer's services to perpetuate a crime of fraud. The client insists upon taking action that the lawyers consider repugnant or with which the lawyer has fundamental disagreement. The client fails substantially to fulfill an obligation to the lawyer regarding the lawyer's services and has been given reasonable warning that the lawyer will withdraw unless the obligation is fulfilled. The representation will result in an unreasonable financial burden on the lawyer, or has been rendered unreasonable. Other good causes for withdrawal exist. So they'll go for number 7, won't they? So well, this is going to have material adverse effects, but that's subjective. So there's various things Richard Allen might have done, or they're not getting paid good enough. I think it's 7. That there's something. I think there's something else beyond this. I think there's something else beyond this. Upon termination, a lawyer shall take steps to the extent reasonably practicable to protect the client's interests, such as giving reasonable notice to the client, allowing time for employment of other counsel, surrendering papers and property to which the client is entitled, refunding, blah, blah, blah. So they have agreed, as Judge Gold said, they have agreed to cooperate. Fluffy bunny, what's that? I have a memo. What? I have a memo filed today that you would like to see. Lead attorney wanted the defence pro bono. Well, somebody asked that question before, and I don't understand how that would benefit them. Because as it stands, as a public defender, they're getting paid by the state. So if they're working pro bono, they're not getting paid. So what would the benefit be of wanting it pro bono? Will the reason be for quitting public? Not necessarily, Barbara. I don't think there's any law that states that an attorney has to give the exact reason. I might be wrong. Tax purposes, that could be possible. I don't know, though. Maybe he's refusing to cooperate in his own defence. The judge would not be able to remove them. I think she could. I think they do have, because they're public defenders. So if they're public defenders, she can remove them. If they're private attorneys, can the judge still remove them? I think that's probably more difficult. This is just a massive can of worms here. It was a good defence, Holly, right? So I don't think that Richard Allen would refuse to participate in a defence that was clearly to his advantage, unless he's gone completely off the rails, in which case he can't partake in his own defence because he's off the rails and he needs psychiatric treatment. Not as easily. Thank you. I thought that was the case. I think the judge still can make moves to remove an attorney that is, bang out of order or breaking, loads of laws. Like a private attorney, if there's a gag order, a private attorney just can't go along and speak to every Tom, Dick and Harry that they want to. They have to abide by the judge's rulings. And if they don't, and they persist in breaking the judge's rulings, I think the judge can remove them. But as it stands, I think there's something more to it. Is it? I don't know. My gut feeling is that there's been threats, or they're afraid of something. Yeah, I won't say Angel. He liked his attorneys, especially Baldwin. I agree. I mean, obviously we don't know, do we? We weren't there. I just feel that given everything that's come out, I think there is something very, very dodgy. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but I do think there's something beyond the attorneys knew they were going to get fired and therefore they quit. You sent me an email. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I don't venture into my emails very often. It's like a war zone in there. Simply because I don't check it very often. Maybe if I checked it more often, I wouldn't feel like that. You sent me an email. Have you? I don't see it. Have you definitely sent it to the right email? So last email I had was from 2032. It's 2041 now. That's at home. It's all junk. No, I don't see an email. I don't see any emails. But then again, no, definitely not. I've gone into all inboxes and I don't see it. It's not come through. Use the PayPal email link. Oh yeah, that will get to me. And I'm in that inbox right now. And I don't see it. Sorry. Sometimes they take a minute, don't they, to come through. What's the affidavit RA filed yesterday? I haven't read it, but I don't know. Somebody fill me in on that. Hold on, let me go and have a look. Someone want to fill me in. We have to go through all this stuff. Hold on. Why is it doing this? Why is it? What is it doing? I've got too many windows open. Right, hold on, I'm going to have to close some windows here. Right, I can close that one. I can close that one. Somebody fill me in rather than me trying to find it. Private representation. Can I put a link in chat? Yeah, I could. Well, I can put my email in the chat. I don't normally because I don't check my emails very often. I get emails and then I don't reply to them because I don't check. Well, it's not that I purposefully don't reply. It's that I don't check my emails. I just don't think. Okay, that's my Gmail address. He posted an affidavit today. Seriously, what was it? What is it? What, before his attorneys quit? Oh, I'm so confused. It's not letting me go to... I don't know what's going on with this computer. Hold on. Do lawyers of innocent men quit? Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. They do. The public deserves to be given a reason. Okay. The memo before the attorneys quit today. So that will be... It's not coming through. Why is my emails not working? Hold on a minute. It may be putting you in junk for some reason. Oh, there we go. It's put you in junk. Why would it do that? That's mean. That's mean. Okay, right. All right, let's read this. I'm going to have to share my screen a different way. Oh, actually, No. We can do it like this. Bear with me. Bear with me. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Thank you, Vintage Mom of 3, for the $3. Thank you so much. "13 News spoke with Hennessy prior to Thursday's hearing. Hennessy confirmed he was not joining Allen's case, but is appearing as counsel for Baldwin." What? What? He's appearing as counsel for Baldwin? What? As in Baldwin's lawyer or in place of Baldwin? Okay, so is this the thing that people are talking about in the chat? So thank you, Fluffy Bunny, who sent this. So memorandum, how long is it? How many pages is it? 5. Oh, it's not too bad. All right. Memorandum regarding possible disqualification or sanctions. Any issues or concerns regarding representation should be focused on the 6th Amendment and Article 1, Section 13 rights of the accused. Continuity of counsel is critical for adequate representation. Article 1, Section 12 of the Indiana Constitution must also be given consideration. Thank you, Pamela, for the $2.99. Thank you so much. Mr. Allen has developed a strong and trusting bond with Mr. Baldwin. Disqualification of either of his court-appointed attorneys will greatly prejudice his right to counsel. So what I'm reading between the lines here is that Baldwin was going to get fired. And he was saying, no, I shouldn't get fired because Richard Allen likes me. Let's read on. Vintage Mom of 3, member for 14 months. Thanks for being detailed on this and other cases. I do try. All right. All right. Okay, I'm now getting more mails. I will come back to that. All right. C. Barham and Stare versus Stare involving an accused right to counsel of choice. Barham involved private counsel. The 6th Amendment guarantees in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall have the assistance of counsel for his defense. The right to counsel of choice has been described as an essential component of the 6th Amendment. The authority to remove appointed counsel is limited and has resulted in reversals in other jurisdictions, such as those. Okay. A trial court may not remove a defendant's counsel merely over a disagreement regarding the conduct of defense counsel. All right, so it really does appear that Baldwin's been upset. The judge wanted to remove him. Maybe it is really as simple as that. Because it's very interesting that this was filed just before these attorneys quit. Cassandra, these small counties literally have one jail cell and sheriff's office, and it would have nowhere to handle or guard him. No. But Cass County has the capacity to house him, and I've agreed to house him, and yet it's been declined. So I'm pretty sure they would be able to find a county jail that could look after Richard Allen. Defence counsel for Allen has reportedly put together a plan of action which stipulates no item related to Delphi will be left unattended for even a second in any unlocked room. Okay. Did the judge say something about a suppression hearing? She mentioned it. I can't remember now. Hold on. Maligator. Thank you for the $9.99. That's why I sent in chat earlier that Baldwin was going to get fired. And that's why she took his oral resignation and why I think the other one quit and has to do a written. What was the affidavit for Richard Allen filed, though? Well, this was filed today. I would have made the judge fire me. So would I, because I'm like that. Hennessy further argued Baldwin should be able to continue acting as his counsel throughout the double murder trial. All right, let's carry on reading. All right. A court may remove a defendant's attorney on the basis of gross incompetence, physical incapacity, or contumacious conduct. That's a word I've never heard before. In the present case, Judge Perizon, so this is a previous case, People versus Johnson. Judge Penzon did not remove Hess for gross incompetence, physical capacity, or that word. Rather, it appears from the order of July 9th, 1993, that Hess was removed for conduct allegedly committed in other cases or outside the courtroom. Judge has no authority to remove defendants. Disqualification of counsel is an extreme remedy for any alleged or perceived violation of a court's order. Most, if not all, cases concerning disqualification of counsel involve conflicts of interest. There is no case allowing disqualification when an individual not part of the attorney's office or staff surreptitiously purloins information from the attorney and disseminates it without permission. Okay. So it was that. It was. She was going to fire them. You got to read between these lines. This was submitted just before the hearing today. And they submitted it to the court. They submitted it to the court, and therefore it's public information. So it does sound like it is because of the leaks that the judge was so mad that she was going to fire them. So Baldwin has said, no, you can't fire us because it's not a disqualification. If somebody outside of our immediate office does it, she's forced them out, yeah. Furthermore, any sanction first requires proof of knowing, willful, or intentional conduct, as do the rules of professional conduct. Here, the attorney's trust and office were violated without his knowledge. Yeah, because if it's, like I said before, how can she fire somebody? This is why I thought she wasn't going to fire him. Because how can you fire somebody for something that an ex-employee did? Because how are you to know that they're going to do it? How are you to know that an ex-employee that might have an axe to grind against you isn't going to go, oh, look, I've got these photos. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise some shit here and I'm going to piss on Baldwin because I don't like him because he fired me like in 1975. And therefore, I'm going to do this. And the judge has fallen for it. Oh, wow. This is not fair. I'm reading between the lines, right? This is not fair. Rule 1.6 requires disclosure by an attorney, not someone that purloined information without the attorney's knowledge. Correct. I agree. Commentary 16 to that rule states a lawyer must act competently to safeguard information related to the representation of a client against inadvertent or unauthorized disclosure by the lawyer or other persons who are participating in representation of the client. or who are subject to the lawyer's supervision. Disseminators do not fit that definition. Attorney Baldwin did nothing wrong. He was snookered and abused. What? What? This is in court documents. Snookered and abused. Oh, wow. In Hannah versus State, which reversed the conviction because the trial court erroneously disqualified counsel when the accused had waived any perceived conflict. We know at the outset that defence counsel was disqualified in response to the state's motion and not in response to a defence request for substitute counsel. Where it's the government which moves to disqualify defence counsel, the burden is on the government to show that any infringement on the defendant's choice of counsel is justified. The proposition of the Sixth Amendment right to counsel of choice reflects a constitutional protection of the defendant's free choice independent of the concern. This is not right. This is not right. The trial court reconsidered its earlier rulings. This is in a previous case, and granted a continuance. While it denied the defence attorney's request to withdraw, it removed them from the case because of the insulting and absolutely improper remarks about the court in their motion. The court appointed 2 new attorneys to represent Jones and ordered that the removed attorneys turn over their case file to new counsel. The trial court also referred the motion to reconsider, blah, blah, blah. The Knox court also stated that this court is generally of the view that a trial court is limited in its authority to remove a criminal defendant's court-appointed counsel. However, the court finds it unnecessary to explicate the parameters of that authority here. This is because Carnahan and Dillon here affirmatively requested that they be allowed to withdraw. Okay. The issue before the court is a horrible tragedy created by persons not related to the defence of Mr. Allen. Strangest case you ever heard. You're not kidding me. You're not kidding me. This is crazy. Truth D, welcome to memberships. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Secret Agents Club. It's a... No way. No way. There were 3 disseminators, one of which committed suicide after the law enforcement investigation began. It should be considered that nothing has been disclosed that won't be disclosed at trial or hearings. It should also be considered that there have been volumes of information disseminated by law enforcement and or others not linked to the defense team. Wow. Mr. Baldwin trusted a friend to respect his office space. He was betrayed. So this was a friend. Right. Okay. Since that transgression, Mr. Baldwin... Oh, okay, so that must be previous. Mr. Baldwin has kept all Delphi-related items in a locked room or a locked fireproof file cabinet. Furthermore, Defence Counsel has put together a plan for curative action in which no items will be left unattended for even a second in any unlocked room. When any documents or items from the case is needed for preparing the case, the person using the documents or items will either, 1, lock the door behind them when they leave, even for a lunch break or bathroom break, or 2, return those documents or items to the room dedicated to the Delphi case and lock the door. As Mr. Rossi indicated, there are vast amounts of trial preparation materials, and it would be a setback to the defence to have to relocate them. Under these circumstances, Mr. Baldwin has taken sufficient curative action. Should the court believe that there should be some sanction, the court could order a 24 hours of representation without compensation. Respectfully submitted, David R. Hennessy. So Hennessy is Baldwin's lawyer. The undersigned certifies a copy of the foregoing was served upon all counsel. So the judge looked at that and thought, nah, I'm still going to fire you. So then Baldwin screwed up. Well, yeah, somebody in his office has got hold of those crime scene photos. It's nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts. This is nuts. So it seems to be that we've got at least an answer as to what's happened here. Maybe. But what she's going to be said, what's going to be said though? Why is Richard Allen not trending? Oh God, just in, the Laundries have filed a proposal of settlement in the civil lawsuit. The terms of the proposal are unknown. This comes after the first attempt to settle, which came from attorney Bertolino. Roberta Laundrie does not want to go to court, does she? She does not want to go to court. Roberta Laundrie. Dirty laundries. Right, Richard Allen. Let's have a look here. Why is there all these adverts? Well, for this, only to quit because she made them quit. I think so. Once again, I agree with Queen Victoria. I think the judges forced them out. So, oh, Jennifer Coffendaffer. Oh, shut up. Yeah. Could you imagine being on trial for murder, going to court just to get told your lawyers have quit for reasons? For whatever you think you're having a bad day, thank God you're not Richard Allen. Wow. It's been a long day with several twists. As for what comes next, Richard Allen is due back in Carroll County Court on October 31st at 9 a.m. to appoint counsel and set a new trial date. So maybe we have to wait till then. It is a busy week at Sunflower. It is. Sure, an inkling it was coming. Well, that's... Well, given this thing that was filed, then yeah, he probably did have an inkling it was coming. The Wells have had their case put back. Again, they're always getting a case put back. Both sides can see the photos, Dolly. The problem is somebody who was associated with Andrew Baldwin leaked the photos to the public and they weren't supposed to. Yeah, Richard Allen's in court on Halloween. Richard, interestingly, hold on. Oh, I've not got it. Oh, hold on. Wasn't Richard charged on Halloween? Pretty sure he was. I may be wrong. Must have found it. I hate all these documents. Can't find anything in here. It's this Google Drive that they released when everything was unsealed, and you can't find anything because they don't have them labelled properly. I'm looking for the criminal complaint. Is that it? No. So annoying. No, I don't want to rename it. I also hate Google. I don't know where it is. If anybody's got the criminal complaint, like, to hand. Objection filed, order issue. I was only reading it like a while ago. So annoying. All I want to know is when the criminal complaint was actually filed. There it is. Oh, October 28th. All right, fair enough. That's wrong anyway. Your Google responded with sorry when Michelle said she hates Google. It's not the entirety of Google that I hate. It's just Google Drive. It's clunky. It's very clunky. Anyway, I've been on here like nearly 2.5 hours, and I said right at the beginning of this that I was hoping that we weren't going to have more questions and answers by the end of it, and here we are. And here we are. Richard Allen is back in prison with no representation. You believe Richard Allen's affidavit? It's under seal. I haven't seen it. I can't find it, so it must be. So I don't know what this affidavit is that was filed yesterday. I don't know, because this thing was filed today. Cult TV Vinny said October 31st last year. There was something October 31st last year. I thought it was the criminal complaint. Maybe he was arrested. What happened to Richard Allen on October 31st last year? Maybe he was arrested. Because he was he was questioned. And then he was arrested and charged. So if the criminal complaints filed on the 28th, they could have held him from there, and then he was at. Are they starving him? Well, we don't know. If they're starving him, they're gonna still be starving him, and he's got no representation, nobody on his side, nobody who can intervene. Oh dear. I'm gonna. When was Richard Allen arrested? No. Allen was arrested on October 28th. So what went down on October 31st? Oh, who knows? And at this point, it's the least of our worries. The press conference was October 31st. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go now. So thank you, everybody, for keeping me company. It's telling me I've got a low internet signal, which is probably my time to go. Thank you for the donations. Welcome to the 51 new members. 50 of them bought by Ashley. And then I think I just have one new member who bought themselves into the Secret Agents Club. Thank you, as always, to the mods. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully not quite as crazy as today. The last 2 days have been crazy. Like the Rex Herman press conference from yesterday. I thought that was crazy. Rex Herman swingers parties. I thought that was wild, but this is just off the wall wild. Off the wall wild. All right, I'm waffling now. I'll see you tomorrow at some point. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, and take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.